Palaris was born in Binalitongan. His father is Tomas Perez, a Pangasinan village chief. His mother is Cataline Agnay. His family was a ruling class in the local area. He once had two elder brothers. They taught him very much. It was a pity that they died early. So he values his family very much. He has three brothers and one sister, Colette, Andres Lopez, Wanda Vera Uncantin and Simona. Because they only have one sister, they all love this sister very much. With taxes rising year by year, parents need to go out to work. Palaris takes the place of her parents and takes care of her younger siblings at home. Heavy taxes put a lot of pressure on parents. They work from day to night. Then his parents began to fall ill. They passed away a few years later. Before his parents died, they told Palaris to take good care of his younger brother and sister. Palaris promised to take good care of his brother and sister, even in poverty. Look! The moon so full and bright, shining in front of the house. How can you explain to me that the rays are soft and cool? If a man like us he were, I would hold him by the hand, seize the hair to keep him back, grasp the clothes to make him stay. But how could I manage that? It is the moon in the sky. The full moon shining so bright. Going down beyond the hills. Disappearing from the plain. Out of sight behind the rocks. Palaris takes on the role of his parents. One teenager was raising four younger siblings. This was not an easy thing in those days. He often starved himself to support his younger siblings. To make matters worse, the Polo Y Servicio system required him to do hard labor. After completing the annual Polo Y Servicio, he went to Manila to work as a coachman for Spanish officials to support his family. Palaris worked as the coachman of the Spanish official Francisco Enriquez de Villacorta, a member of the Audiencia Real, which served as the Privy Council of the Governor-General who governed the Philippines. While working, Palaris often heard Spanish officials whispering someone's name. Although Palaris was unsure, he could vaguely recognize the man's name was Andres Malong. Based on his desire for knowledge, he began to understand the story of Andres Malong. After understanding Andres's ideals, he fully agreed with Andres's political goal, Philippine Revolution. It happened that the 7 Years' War broke out at this time. British troops occupied Manila. The Spanish army retreated to Bacolor, Pampanga. During the war, Palaris returned to his hometown. It was at this time that the Principalia of Binalitongan protested the abuses committed by the provincial governor. The town leaders demanded that the governor be removed and that the colonial government stop collecting taxes. But Governor-General Simon de Anda dismissed the demands and the revolt broke out in November 1762. Palaris emerged as one of the leaders of the revolt, along with his brother Colette, Andres Lopez, and Wanda Vera Uncantin. The Spanish colonial government had to deal with the British invaders and the simultaneous Silang revolt, led by Diego Silang, in the neighboring province of Ilocos in the north. The British funded weapons to Palaris. So Palaris chose the Ogno River as the battlefield. There were many swamps and mangroves there. It was a suitable place to ambush the Spanish army. At the Battle of Ogno, Palaris faced on March 1, 1763, the Spanish forces under the command of Alfonso de Arayat, who led a composite troop of Spanish soldiers and Indios loyal to Spain. Arayat withdrew after losing many of his Indio loyalists. Pangasinenses took over all official functions and controlled the province up to the Ogno River. At the height of the uprising, Palaris commanded 10,000 men. He was also in communication with Silang. However, the 7 Years' War ended on February 10, 1763. Also, Silang was assassinated on May 28, 1763. The Spanish could then focus on the uprising and mustered forces surrounding Palaris. The Spanish friars, who were allowed to stay in the province, also started a campaign to persuade Pangasinan residents of the futility of the Palaris revolt. Palaris tried to fend off the offensive at the village of Mabalitec near the Ogno River between Binalitongan and Bayambang in December 1763. But the Spanish won the Battle of Mabalitec, demoralizing Palaris' forces. Palaris' forces made a last stand at the town of San Jacinto, Pangasinan, but they were defeated. Palaris' advisors, Andres Lopez and Juan de Vera Uncantin, were captured. They would later be hanged. By March 1764, his sister Simona, who was apparently threatened by the Spanish clergy, betrayed him to Agustin Matias, the mayor of the raised Binalitongan. Palaris was arrested on January 16, 1765, and brought to the provincial capital of Lingayen for trial. While in detention, he confessed to being the principal leader of the revolt. He was convicted and hanged on February 26, 1765. He was 32 years old,